All
It's
right.
not.
Let me double check everything is good. No, the coffee's good. It almost burnt my damn mouth. All right, hold up. Wait 1 minute. Let's see what we got. Sure we live. All right. Cool, cool, cool. We are. All right. Morning, everyone. Um, let's see. Morning. Dang, I don't even know my intro right now. How fast time moving. Wait 1 minute. Wait 1 minute. All right. So everybody, welcome to Mornings with Movers. Usually it's three of us. Phil's out working again, like we ain't all got jobs. But we got Cliff here. We got myself, Dwight with Max Moving Training, Clifford, the fighting business coach. It's too many names, Cliff. I'm working on it.
Just go transformational coach. We're gonna keep it simple. Transformational coach.
Yes, transformational coach. So yeah, so let's get started. What's been going sorry, Cliff, what's been going on?
Man, I'm feeling like you're feeling, my brother. There's a lot of I call it brain conditioning that I got going on right now. So stretching that muscle, working with a couple of consultants, getting my marketing skills to another level. And
Mhm.
yeah, just looking to master the game so I can help as many business owners as I can along the way.
Gotcha. So where is that taking you so far? Like what's been where you feel
It
comfortable? Yeah, go ahead.
it is awesome because you can see the holes better and better. Um, the more you understand it, and like, so you talk about knowing your numbers, and the numbers are key in this game that we call life. Actually, they're life and business. Um, but now I'm learning like 65% of your efforts really have to go to marketing your business. Because
Mm,
at the end of the day, it's not about the service or the product, it's about the marketing of that service and that product. So
okay.
I'm just, yeah, it's like a water hose for sure. I'm feeling like a water hose, but discipline's the name of the game. If you can stay disciplined long enough to learn the lessons you need to learn, life can get drastically easier. So I remind people that they're all capable. They just have to believe in the
Oh,
process.
oh yeah. That's the most important key. I'm actually pulling up my coaching program because I want to basically go over that with people, and explain what
Nice.
that entails. Because it's, obviously I've created and focused on creating something like a mastermind type setup.
Mhm.
Let's see. So, and I know that you're big on the mastermind opportunities
Yeah,
currently.
they're game changers for people. Yeah.
So, not to overshoot, but or is there something in the works? What are you looking to do?
Yeah, so it's gonna be like similar to masterminding too, because I think that's such a critical piece. You bring a lot of intelligent people into the same room and have them support one another. But I'm really gonna focus in on the business owner's message and where they're spreading their message and how to follow up with the message that they have. Like for instance, in the moving industry, yeah, people only move every 7 years on average, but that doesn't mean that you can't sell that customer more things. And the really cool thing is, as a mover, really priding yourself in what you do because you're going inside the home. You're going inside the home when they're stressed out, when like there's so much going on. You can become one of their heroes. And
Mhm.
as becoming one of their heroes, you can sell them a lot more stuff than just the moving service. And you, like, as movers, you guys have so much potential to really support a person at the highest level. So it's a really cool opportunity, and I'm just going to help other movers see it.
Yeah, definitely. No, that makes sense. And I was just thinking, when you mentioned that how moving could be stressful, I kind of created a text for my
Mhm.
crew based around that because, kind of like as I continue to mold my culture of my company, to get better and better, you know, it's one of those things where it's like, okay, well, you know what? Every piece of that, of what you do incorporates that. So
Yes.
if you're sending a work text and it seems like a work text, hey, your ass is scheduled to come into work today. Make sure you're
Mhm.
here. Well, that's a part of that culture, like
It is.
the aggressiveness of your culture. So I kind of like, okay, well, hey guys, straight to the point. You're working. Here's your work schedule, blah, blah, blah. But after that, I kind of created a text, like a little quote, kind of saying, hey, moving is stressful. Make sure that, every day that we come in, we over deliver for our customers, bring your A game, kind of like a quote similar to that or whatever the case is. So that
Yeah.
basically, it's like, hey, you know what, if you're not really feeling it, understand that, that customer will feel that energy. Make sure that you're coming to work at your best and that
Yeah.
you're going to look to deliver that top over the top service.
Yeah. Yeah.
We actually had a customer that we had to go back out for, like we serviced this customer a while ago, but we had to go back out and rectify some things. And I would love to know how other people handle this, but we had to go back out because I guess the customer's bed wasn't put back together properly, whatever the case is. And she was more of an elderly person, couldn't really do it herself. But she
Mhm.
was also like one of those crazy people that you want to kind of stay away from too. So, like, when you're done, you're done. Like, I ain't going back out this. But
Yeah.
it's one of those things where I was like, you know what? I believe in it. I believe in good customer service as best as possible. Sometimes it's just those customers that just like, you know what, if I could just do this, I feel like, for me, I feel like it's a piece of accomplishment. And then two, it feels like it's just a good deed. Even if they
Yeah.
don't pay me or whatever the case is, because they already paid for my services in the past.
Yeah. Yeah.
So,
No, I look at making sure that the customer feels comfortable with what they're going through. We actually had a situation like that, and our guys just went back, put the bed together in the way that they wanted it put together. Because we actually put the bed together right the first time, but something like one of the pole pieces slipped out, and she just she was hysterical about it. I'm not going to lie, she was hysterical about the situation. But again, they're stressed out. These people are stressed
mhm.
out, so I don't really personalize any of that stuff. Now, I did have another customer who, like, she was literally reading and looking at the contract and saying that she saw something different. Like, I don't, and that's where I'm like, I don't know what to do with that, ma'am. And she goes, you're starting to you sound a little frustrated. I'm like, to be honest with you, I am. Like, because I'm showing you the proof and you're saying the proof doesn't exist. Like, could you try to see my side a little bit on what I'm going through? And
Yeah.
I'm not the customer's always right. I don't play that game, but I also don't like to just disrespect either people either. Like, I'm gonna tell them, like, look, this is what I'm seeing. Like, can you work with me? And if you're not going to, okay, we'll just agree to disagree.
Yeah, you got you got your version of you got the actual bill laid in your hand, she got the bill laid in your hand. Are you going line item by line item? And she like,
Yeah.
yeah, so you see on line two, it says, no, ma'am, it says the same thing. But no, so back to that story, it was like, I think so we went back out there.
Hmm.
And we obviously she didn't even take her bed apart, knowing like take the sheets off at night. So it was like, all right, you know what, let's bundle this sheet up, put it over here, and then let's get this bed together. So we got the bed together, and when we finally figured it out for the most part, and got everything situated, she was so, excited. Like, I get to sleep in my bed. I haven't slept in my bed for a very long
That's
time because
awesome.
it wasn't put together right and blah blah. And I kind of felt bad, like, damn, like, but if she wasn't so, I guess, crazy or historical, crazy
Yeah.
in the past, it made it maybe have been done sooner, or it should have been done on the day of the job, truthfully.
Yeah. Yeah.
But it's just one of those things where you deal with a customer, and every time you deal with them, they want to say, "Oh, well, the guys messed this up," And you try to stay away from customers like that when they're always trying to point fingers.
Yeah, yeah. It's so tough because like the really cool thing is when you mess up and you can make it right, people will actually love you more for doing that most of the time. Because and I say most of the time because there's just certain customers you shouldn't be, and it's the weird. I know it's gonna sound weird as heck. There's certain customers you just shouldn't be paying that much attention to. They don't value your time. They don't even value their time. They're just those kind of people who are like, I want this as cheap as I can get it. And that's fine. But if you're putting a lot of energy into those people, then you're taking away from the people who actually value you and value your service and value what you do.
Hmm. And for me, it's kind of like I used to, like several years ago, I think I used to be kind of like a little bitter where it's like, oh, the guys did the job, but then, oh snap, we maybe got a claim off that job, but oh snap,
Mhm.
something wasn't done on that job. And the customer's like, oh, can you come out and redo this or do this or whatever cases? And in my mind, I'm like, damn, you already filed a claim. Hell nah. You got money and you want me to come out for free? Hell nah.
Yeah.
Now it's like, you know what? It is what it is. It's like, you know what?
Yeah.
How can I make this one customer happy? And then obviously in retrospect, it'll make me happy because I know that, we completed this customer. This customer is going to leave us alone. Yes, we have a claim that we're dealing with, and that's going to get handled because obviously I don't handle them. We got a claims
Mhm.
company for that. So, it's kind of like having the right pieces in place make life a lot easier because having a claims company that is working on the back end to resolve that issue, and you don't have to be biased about it. Like, damn, I'm going to help this person out, and now they're going to tell me, oh, well, they messed this up too, right? They did this, right? And you're like, all right, what can I do to make this better or compensate them right? No, you don't have
Yeah.
to deal with that anymore. You
Yeah.
know,
Yeah.
because you have a claims company. Hey, you went through the process. So, okay, well, hey, yeah, unfortunately, I do apologize about the experience. We're definitely working hard on the back end to make sure that we resolve your claim, without any biasness. Because, oh man, I know my guys, they don't do that. Ain't no
Yeah.
way in hell.
Yeah. Yeah.
So it's like one of those things where it's just like, yo, all right, cool. But yeah, so now I just feel better. Like, okay, you know what? I'll go and help where I can, and
Yeah.
hopefully you like what I did. So like so going back to that one customer, so we put her bed back together, and then she asked us our name out the door. So I'm like, okay, you want to know our name? You want to know our full government? You don't want to know. Call me DMAC, you don't want to know that. You want to know our full government. So, we told her our full government. And while we were driving back to the shop not too far, but we drive back to the shop, she calls the office
Mhm.
line. So, hey, I answer. Hey, Miss
Yeah.
Jade, how are you? He's like,
Yeah.
oh, I'm good. I'm good. Dwight and John just came here and they were amazing. So I'm not gonna act like I ain't Dwight, So I was at
Yeah.
the moment, but I was like, no, I'm not, you know what? All right, she's 60 years old. I'm not gonna play that game.
Yeah.
So I'm like, all right, cool. So she's like, yeah, they came here, they put my bed together, they were so amazing. OMG, I feel like I don't know what to do. I feel like I want to cry right now. And I was like, oh my goodness, like the
Yeah.
power of just, rectifying what was done wrong
Mhm.
and not looking to get compensated for it. Because
Yeah.
obviously I wasn't looking for her to call back and say thank you, thank you, thank you. I was just like, okay, you know what? We have a claim that you're handling right now. Something got messed up on her bed, like her headboard or something like that. So we got a claim that's being addressed. Um, but her bed, that's a whole different situation. It just wasn't together. So you know what? How far are you? Oh, you 5 minutes away from us. You know what? Let me come out there, bring somebody with me, make sure that we get that bed together for you. And we'll go about our day. It takes us 10, 15 minutes out of my day, whatever.
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah.
and it was just everything for her. And that was just a piece of joy for me that like, yo, I can go home today and feel like, yo, you done a good deed.
Yeah. Yeah, that's amazing. And it's there's a saying, your brand is what people say when you're not around. And
Mm-hmm.
I really hold that to the cuff as much as possible. I do my best to do right by people. You do your best to do right by people. And when you have the opportunity to do a good deed, do it, because you're conditioning your mind to do that on a regular basis, and you're conditioning everyone around you to do the same thing. So respect to that. That's awesome, brother.
Yeah. Trying to think. We had. Let me see. You know, you could think you could see the image, but you can't remember what it was. You're like, damn, I know what it was. Um, Lee. Okay. So no, it's like I said, I'm wondering how people go about handling that situation. So I know that a lot of my dispatcher mentioned that at his old moving company, obviously the owners and stuff like that, they're not going out and doing this. You know, maybe their company's too big,
Hmm.
and they're like, you know what, you guys, one, got to get it done, get it right the first time. Two, obviously in some cases, I guess if the crew messes up and they'll send the crew back out to go and rectify that situation at another point in time,
Hmm.
or whomever. And I've thought about that. You know, what I've ran into is, do I bring them in on their off day and tell
Hmm.
them, hey, I need you to run out with our truck, adding more expenses to our truck,
Yeah.
or to run out there, fix the issue, and then come back and then say, well, hey, you guys, you didn't get paid for this.
Hmm.
And so, now you got that gray
Yeah.
area. It's like,
It's a gray area.
you're like, how do I fix this? Like, and then you can't do it after the job because they're super tired. So it's just like they might add more issues to the job or more issues to that situation. So I haven't yet figured that out. I could have the lead go out there on his own, versus having a whole crew come in and just say, well, hey, you guys, I need all three of you guys to go out there and fix that damn bed. I don't care how y'all touch it. I need you to fix it. Versus just having the lead and maybe somebody else that's in the office, like a dispatcher, say, hey, you know what? Go out there, get it fixed or whatever the case is, and go from there. I don't know. I haven't yet figured that situation out. So I'm also curious to see how people currently do that.
Yeah, yeah. That's we got a good GM who will just take care of problems when those problems arise,
Mm-hmm.
and he's quick. Um he doesn't charge for that. So respect to him in that, and respect to him and the culture that he's created with Arizona Reliable, because he's done a good job. He's respected by both the community and his people, which um that's the name of the game. So ultimately, like, I would say that the GM plays a role in what
They
that whole
definitely
thing
do.
looks like. Yeah.
Yeah, they definitely do. And I think I've been thinking as like I said, developing the company culture
Hmm.
and the company culture is not just internal, it's external as well, because what you do for the community also has an effect internally as well.
Yeah.
And I was thinking about a customer appreciation day.
Mm.
And so I've been pondering my brain on that long commute home and into work, how
Yeah.
I like that work. But I'm thinking like, all of the customers that we satisfy, whatever the case is, or anybody, obviously we do newsletters, so anybody will be
Hmm.
invited essentially. We'll have a community day at our warehouse, probably, big in our big yard or whatever the case is. And maybe a plate of one of those jungle gyms or whatever the case is, so the kids can come out and
Very cool.
play.
Yeah.
Have a barbecue, or a food truck. If we want to keep the cost down a little bit, have a food truck come and let people get whatever type of food they want from the food trucks, some music, and maybe even do like supply giveaways, like school supplies.
That's really cool. Yeah. No, and that's, you know, Louis Massaro talks about it's about the way we think, you
Hmm.
know, through the situation. And if we can become a pillar to the community, people are going to talk about us. People are going to point in our direction. People are going to, when we support them, they support us. So yeah, I like that idea. You can you can hit
Yeah.
that one out of the park.
Yeah, so that's kind of what I'm thinking about, or so like that. I haven't ran all of the numbers and what it's going to cost us, because obviously at the
Yeah.
end of the day, we got to still think about our pockets. Like, damn,
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
shit.
No, there's some pieces to put together to make that really as smooth as possible. And one thing that I always do is I go success. Well, this is Tony Robbins. He talks about this. Success leaves crumbs, right? And so if you're looking to be successful community day, then ask yourself who's done something like that and have a conversation with that person. Because now
Mhm.
you can see like what are some of the good things behind it? What are some of the bad things? What should you look out for? How should you get that campaign even started and put in place? How do you get
Mhm.
it to really get that mass of oh this is exciting. Dwight Max moving, they take care of us. Like, how do you get that in the mind of the consumer?
Yeah. So yeah, no, and that's why I say that's why I feel like the power of newsletters is going to be great because a lot of people do answer their emails. You
Mm-hmm.
know, we may not want to do like a text blast because obviously text regulations and all that damn text costs to send those damn messages. But most people check their emails. And I
Yeah.
think if they see like just a random email, maybe even like populate a few times in their inbox where it's like, hey, Max Moving Community Day, come out and, get, some supplies for your kids or whatever the case is for school, whatever the case. So like doing it in August, like an early August type of thing
Yeah.
so that they can get their school supplies right before school starts again. And I just feel like that will be probably one of the major things. And then, like I said, just the community involvement, having some good music playing, having kids play, and kind of going from there. And then maybe expanding on that in future years as it just shows that it develops more. Maybe
Yeah.
have a band play the next time or whatever the
Yeah.
case is. You know,
That's
um,
super cool.
yeah, and I think that alone, will just bring the referrals out of the woodworks.
Mm,
Hey, Max Moving is really great. They're doing this, they're doing this. So, not necessarily looking to get any profits from that. Obviously, it's going to be all expense, but it's just the word of mouth, getting it our name and other people's thoughts. Oh yeah, they were
yeah.
great. They were great. You should go to their event, even if they're non-customers. We know non-customers will probably show up. Yo, girl, you need some school supplies. They have some school
Yeah.
supplies.
Yeah. No, it's true. Well, the cool thing too though is the art of negotiation and knowing that as you're throwing an event like that, create strategic partnerships with a
Hmm.
restaurant and that way because you can keep everyone's costs low, right? If you guys do it correctly and do it the right way, you're looking to bring attention, you're looking to bring eyeballs. That's a powerful thing. And so you start negotiating with some of these other businesses and you guys are collaborating together to support one another. Um, that's the beauty of business. It's like, okay, how do I win? How do the people win? And how do other businesses win? And that's where you win, especially locally. It's saying like, oh yeah, I'm down. I can see your vision. I can see what you see. It's a place where people get to come together and say, these guys are amazing.
Yeah, and we just had one customer that we just helped out yesterday. We helped her move. It was an in-house move. So, with the in-house moves, we try to be as cost efficient as possible, because obviously it's just not one of those regular moves.
Mm,
And the guys probably had to move like 3, 4 items from the second floor to the first floor.
mm,
So, originally the couch was going to give them an issue because of the low ceiling and how long it was, but they managed to conquer it. And the customer was so excited that they were able to do it because obviously when she moved that in, it gave those movers a little bit of hard time because of the ceiling and everything like that. So she was thinking it was going to probably be the same issue. Well, it wasn't us that moved her in. So,
Yeah.
Max came and we dominated. But so, with that being said, she was so excited. She wanted to go on Google, provide us a review on Google, went on Facebook, provided us a recommendation on Facebook, went on the local community group page and recommended us on there. And
Nice.
I never really knew about the local group community until somebody mentioned, one of my ex-employees mentioned it. Like, hey, there's a town community group on Facebook. I was like, what? For real? I go on there and there's like 2,000 members. I'm like, is it that many people in this community? So I was like, let me introduce myself. But before I introduce myself, I had got a little bad publicity on there. So that's why I really went in there. And they were saying that somebody seen one of my people in my truck doped up on some type of drugs, just
No.
sitting there with a needle in their arm in my truck. I'm like, what the hell? I'm like, when the hell this take place?
Yeah.
And then they was like, I guess basically when they posted it, it must have been for on the weekend or whatever the case is. And I was like, we ain't even have no jobs. It was my interview. So now I was like, I was going to defend myself, in the community or whatever case, because I just didn't want that kind of like bad publicity. But as I started kind of like defending myself, someone kind of said, the more you try to talk and defend yourself, the more you seem more guilty or whatever the case is. I guess it's kind of like a reverse. Say less is more. You don't have to justify if it isn't what it is. You say what it is and you kind of move on. Don't sit here debating with people, blah, blah, blah. And I was like, you know what? As annoyed as I am because you just told me that, you're right. I ain't gonna say that. So kind of like, and then I was just gonna advertise in the community, like whenever we do like events or we're promoting something or whatever the case is, just like advertise a banner or whatever the case is, because hey, it just makes sense. But I kind of just don't like being wrapped up in drama. So it's kind of like I try to stay away from anything that people are just talking, and in an open group community like that, people are just talking about anything and everything. So I was like, you know what, this is not where I want to lose my mind, because Facebook is its own distraction already.
Yep. Yeah, no, 100%. I would be curious having like a conversation with that person though. Like, and sometimes you don't know. Sometimes it could just be an angry ex. Sometimes you have no idea who that person is, but I would be curious as to see how they would even think something like that, especially if you guys weren't even moving on the weekend. I don't know.
What's going on, Mario? Mr. Mario's in the building today.
Mario Reyes?
Yeah,
The man
Mario
with the
Reyes
plan?
in the
Oh,
building.
snap.
He up. His time in California.
I know he's ready to do his thing. That's the name of the game. I respect it.
But no, so other than that, just before I forget, because oh man, I was already about to forget, and it's 8:30. All right. So today, 5 p.m. Eastern time, everyone, I am having a live on Zoom. Open Q&A at the end. Ain't nobody, we don't need all those damn distractions. I'm trying to get the content out. So, definitely join. The link is in the group. I will attach the link again. But 5 p.m. Eastern, we're going to be going over packing by the hour versus packing flat rate. And I know I kind of went over, the basics and how to compare it, why you should go with one or the other. And one of my, I think earlier this year or late last year, I went over a video like that. But this time, we're actually going in depth with how to determine your estimates based on packing by the hour versus packing by flat rate. We're also going to go over how to create your box kit. So a lot of questions has been coming my way where people are like, oh, well, how do you determine how many boxes you bring? Or where do you go to create a kit or whatever the case is? Because in most cases, people listen to the customer. Hey, Miss Georgia, how many boxes do you think you need? Oh, well, I think I need probably bring 25 small and like 15 medium or whatever the case is. And they're like, okay, so for 25 small, 15 medium, the cost of these boxes are going to probably be this. Let me, all right, so this, and plus how many hours it takes those guys to pack that. And that's the problem right there. One, we're playing the game of what does the customer need?
Mm-hmm.
And then two, we're playing the game of how much time is it really going to take for the pack to happen or be completed, and then the move starts. So now you estimate the move to be about 4 hours. But because you included an hour of packing, because you estimated that it should take the guys maybe an hour to 2 hours to pack 30 boxes, and now it's taking them it went over the 2 hours for packing. So now the move was supposed to be 4 hours, the packing was supposed to be 2 hours. That's 6 hours. This whole job done turned into 8-9 hours. And you're just looking, you're in the office like at 6 hours, like, God damn, they're not done yet. What the hell going on? 3 hours more come by. Oh, they done. Okay. Hey, Miss Georgia, how did everything go? Well, I didn't expect this price to be this way. Like, why did it take them this long? I felt like somebody was taking a break too much, or they were just moving too slow. And it becomes his own issue. And because basically you estimate it based off of spec, like, oh, well, this is about 30, 40 bucks. I'm going to do about 2 hours there. I'm going to do about 4 hours for the move. Plus they got stairs, yeah, they should finish at 10 to 9 hours. That's doing the math. That's about, what is that? 0.33% over your original estimate. And you want to be approximately about 10% above plus or minus your estimate. Now you're 33%. Like, obviously customers will be furious. So that's kind of like that's some of the stuff that we're going to be going over in this live later today, where we'll go over how to be a little more tighter with your estimate if you're going to do about an hour. And obviously, if you're going to do a flat rate, hey, how much more you could be dialed in with doing it flat rate. And then we'll go over how to actually create your kits based on the inventory. So if you at least got an accurate inventory, we can get you close to accurate with how many boxes maybe you may need. So yeah, join us live, 5 p.m. I ain't gonna tell no more about it because I can keep going, but we're gonna stop there. So Mario is definitely gonna be at 5 p.m. and I'll send the invite. Okay, so I'll put the invite in the group and I'll text you the link as well, Mario. Let's see. Who else we got? Okay, so if anybody got any questions as of right now, just on general topics, just let us know. We'll try to answer them. All right, so other than that, for those that do not know, very quickly, so I do have a coaching / mastermind program. I love that word, mastermind, because us top owners need to come together and we actually need to come up with a strategic plan on how to grow our business. We don't need to be always competitors, and I love this fact as a trainer that I get the feel of feeling, get some validation that I'm doing things the correct way. Because obviously we all have our own way, but there is a right way to do certain things. And just to share my screen, let's see. And don't judge me because I got a lot of tabs open, y'all. I know y'all judgmental people. Let's see. Make sure. All right. And share. Okay. All right. So I know y'all can see my screen now. All right, because I was having a film moment just a moment ago. All right. So, oh, damn. When you press the button too fast. All right. So we have the coaching program. The coaching program is, like I said, it's for the owner. It's not for anyone else. And this is going to really get that owner's mindset in the right place to run their business. Whether you're a vet in the industry or you are a new person to the industry, this is the ultimate fit. Because as an owner and anybody that's running a moving company, just to throw this out there, FYI, if you're running a moving business and you're running it the right way, I feel like if you can do this industry, you can do any industry. And hey, you quote me if I'm wrong. If I'm wrong, I'm wrong. But this is a tough industry.
It's a tough industry, that's for sure. There's a lot of moving parts.
So, with this being said, we kind of want to start off with getting your vision. What is your vision? What is your why? Why are you doing this? And, once we are able to accomplish and figure that out together in an environment where you can really take the time out to think, okay, why am I really doing this? This isn't a pass or fail. Like a lot of my trainings do have tests, after a certain module, whatever the case is. There's no test. The test is, why are you doing this? Figure it out. And once you figure that out, then we can move on to the next thing. Now we're going to deal with knowing your numbers. So forecasting, projecting, knowing what hourly rate you should charge based on maybe, your calculations of what expenses you're planning on having. Knowing your packing rates, because basically you just need to know your staple services, moving and packing. We can figure out the rest later. And then learning how to have money in the bank at the end of the day. Most people are looking at that P&L thinking, oh, yo, we got money. We got 30, 40,000 on paper. But when you look at your bank account, say, oh shit, I got $600. You're like, yo, where the hell my money go? And oh shit, we about to go in the winter. I can't go in the winter with $600. So it's just like figuring out how to have money in the bank at the end of the day. And this is every day of the year, or every day or every week in the year. You want to make sure that you have some type of money in your bank. Now we're going to go over some marketing opportunities, how to find marketing. It's so many different variations of marketing out there. And obviously there's the staples, and then there's, hey, what's out there that's working? I keep getting a person from a golf course calling me saying, hey, do you want to put your name on some flyers? Because all of these people that's playing golf, they're going to see it when they come to play golf. And hey, I would say try everything at least once if you have the budget for it. Give it a 90-day turnaround. And if it doesn't work, hey, know not to do it again. If you can try it, because you never know what type of ROI that may have. And then basically how to manage your marketing. Then we go into sales stuff. So making sure that you understand your sales and how sales is going to, obviously, sales is the bread and butter of this business. So if you need to make sure that your sales is dialed in, and no matter how good of a salesperson you may think you are, there's always things we could be learning to get to that next level. And this is some stuff you can share with your sales reps, some of the intricate details. Then from sales, we're going to go into operations and how to make sure your operations is super, super tight. And, how to create processes so that your organization flows and runs. So there's no rush to get through this program. This program should take you a good amount of time if you're implementing each module properly. And then crew management and training, how to train your staff, how to make sure that they're really dialed in on what you're teaching. And then basically managing your damage claims, how to incentivize your crews or whatever the case may be to keep your damage claims down versus, oh, damn, he fucked up for the third time. He gone. So it's like, how to incentivize, because, we know damage is going to happen, but how can we keep that number down? And then, obviously we have live training. We have meetings every week on Thursdays. And basically, you'll be in a group of people that's going through the same process and program with you. So it's kind of like, hey, if you got questions about something, you're in a mastermind environment where people like yourself can just brainstorm, and there's no wrong, no right, no, oh, I feel uncomfortable asking this dumbass question. Ain't none of that. It's like, just ask the question, because basically we want to make sure that you get right. And by you asking that same question, maybe that other guy in the room is just like, yo, I didn't even think of that question, but it was on my mind. So this is kind of like how we have, and also, with this program, you do have access to all of my other training programs, such as the mover driver training, the sales training, the ops training, and like I said, and you're training yourself. So this is the all-in-one training program. If you want to see more details, it is on my website, maxmovementtraining.com. My goal is not to sell y'all right here. So, ultimately, just go and check it out. If you want to schedule a free consultation, you can also do that on my website, maxmovementtraining.com. And yeah, if you got any questions, just definitely ask. I'm here to help. All right, y'all. So back to the show. What's your thoughts? Good.
Yeah, keep serving the community. That's the name of the game. There's an exercise, it's called a third, and a third. And it's a third of the people you surround yourself with, they're where you want to be, right? Then there's a third that they're where you're at, but they want to be where you're going. And then there's a third that they want to be where you're at. So I think you're doing it perfectly, going through the process as because we get coaching, and I've realized like my coaching's never going to stop. That's the beauty of it. There's always something new to learn. There's always something new to do. And yeah, if you're a moving owner, the company will only go as far as how seriously you take it. If you invest in what you're looking to do and invest to become the person you want to become, you'll get there. If you don't, odds are you won't. So
Yeah.
yeah, respect to that.
And that's the thing. A lot of people not to put some of my clients out there, but some people aren't yet comfortable with the numbers, and that's understandable. Hey, some people came from a logistics background where they're like, oh shit, I moved for a person, and I think I could do this the right way. Okay, nothing wrong with that. But now as an owner, you got to think like an owner. You got to think like, okay, what do I need to do, or what should I be looking at to get the results that I need to get at? And sometimes those are numbers.
Yeah.
So when I ran the business remotely for a year living in Florida, and I couldn't see what was really taking place day to day at the business, it was like, how do you learn how to run your business off of numbers? Okay, well, hey, let's look at the sales report. Okay, well, the sales, okay, so Shelly, she had 100 leads, and she only booked 30 of those leads. She gotta go. She gotta go. She wasted 70 leads on my damn marketing. Does she know how much that is? So all right. So she had 100 leads. She booked 30 of them. Her booking percentage is 30%. And how many of those leads were bad leads? Okay, so about maybe 20 of those leads were bad leads. Okay, so so what happened to the other 50? Okay, so now you're going to look at your lost lead report. Okay, price too expensive. I'm getting probably like 30% of my lost leads are expensive. Okay, okay. They already found movers. Okay, so it's at a time thing. Are they getting to the leads within the first 5 minutes, or is there follow-up diligent?
Yeah.
Like if they told Mary that, oh, we're gonna call you on Thursday and it's Tuesday now, but they didn't call her until Friday. And then now that could be another reason why Mary went in with another mover. We didn't keep our promise of calling her when we said we was gonna call her. And obviously because we didn't keep our price, she went with another mover. So it could be so many different things, but those numbers is telling the story of something going wrong.
Yeah.
And that's that meeting that you need to have with your sales team. Like, hey, so I'm seeing that, we're getting a lot of customers went with another mover. That we know that could be associated with price, or that could be associated with your follow-up time. So you might have to look in your CRM and see what the turnaround follow-up time is. Your note said that to follow up with Mary on Thursday, but it shows that your updated notes said Friday that you actually documented notes. Do you have too many leads that you're working that you weren't able to follow up with Mary at the right time?
Hmm.
And that's that thing that you're looking at. That's that it gives you that story where you can start improving. And as an owner, this is where you need to step in. You don't ever want to be tied to one thing. Oh, as an owner, I'm in the field. I really don't have time to look at these numbers or whatever the case is. Or I'm over here in sales. I don't really have time to look at what's going on in the field.
Yeah.
You can't, you have to be able to bounce. Just like I like to tell my leads when you're in the field, you cannot be just in the truck trying to load the truck as a lead. If you trust yourself that much to load the truck, you have to be able to bounce back and forth in the house and back to the truck, so that basically you can address any questions. Because otherwise, if you're a lead and you're like, oh, I'm stuck in the truck, yo, just keep bringing me stuff. The customer is talking to the movers now. Hey, can you get this? Can you get this? And your movers are over promising stuff that you know that you shouldn't be over promising.
Yeah. Yeah. No,
So,
getting those numbers right is so key. And then I also look at like the desire. What will you have for getting your numbers right? Like, well, you get to impact people and you get to make profits at the end of the day. So that's what you get for looking at these things. So I almost look at it like a fun formula, because
mhm.
I know the fun formula helps me get the result that I want to get. Um, and as a leader, I get it. Sometimes you don't want to do certain things. You have to give yourself a reason. And you said it in the beginning, like, why are you doing this? You got to know why. Because if you don't know why, you're just gonna find a reason not to do it. Like,
Mhm.
and I'm not doing this. This sucks.
And like I said, your why has to be bigger than you.
Oh yeah.
It's just what it is. When you were getting the business, why are you getting in the business? Oh, I want to make more money. Okay, you can make more money, get a better job. You know, why are you doing this? Oh,
Yep.
well, I want to pass it down to my kids, or I want something I never had before. Well, what didn't you have? If the why is going to keep going deep, it's going to ask you surface level questions. Why? Okay, well, I want to make more money. Why? Oh, well, I'm not happy with my situation. Why? And it's just going to keep asking you because it wants you to get to that point of why are you really doing this? What's the bigger agenda to the end game? And
Yeah.
once you figure out that agenda, it's basically telling you when anything happens, any adversity, any stress, where, oh man, my guys, they broke this. Oh, that's gonna be $2,000. Why the hell am I doing this? That's the why. Why
Yeah.
are you doing this? And you're gonna be like, oh yeah, because I have a dream to pass this down to my kids, or I have a dream that this is where I want to be ultimately in the future. And now that $2,000 is going to seem so much smaller. It's going to be stressful in that intermediate time, but it's going to seem so much smaller to the end game.
Yeah, you'll
That
probably get a why in the hell am I doing this from time to time. Make sure to put your why at the refrigerator somewhere you can see it when you do, like, why the hell am I? Oh, that's right.
realize you probably want to quit this business every year, at least once, twice, maybe in summertime, maybe times, but but yeah, that's the powerful why. And people are like, some people might be like, mentally, I don't want to hear this. I want to hear how to do the business. But you got to have your mentals in the right place to do any
Oh
of
yeah.
this.
Yeah. To even get
Um,
a chance. The same in fighting. Look, you'll be in the fight, and you'll be in a fight that you weren't expected to be in. Yeah, you have to know why you're doing this shit to get yourself back up and keep fighting.
I was just thinking about that when you brought that up. Like, damn, I put myself in a damn situation. He about to knock my ass out. And I'm still here. And in the octagon, the door damn locked. They locked the
Yep,
damn
yep.
door. So you're just like, oh man, I'm gonna have to bounce around this ring for a little while.
You're okay. You're okay. Stay focused.
But no, like yeah, and like I said, you're going to get knocked down, and what's going to get you back up is that why, your motivation. you know, and sometimes that's what makes the best fighters when it comes to the fighting game. And, you know, that's what makes the best owners is like, hey, why? You know, and basically get up and dust yourself off, leave yesterday as yesterday. That $2,000 that you got to deal with yesterday, hey, maybe it might linger to today where you're like, well, hey, I still got to resolve it. But other than that, yesterday is yesterday. Today is today. Figure out how can you make today a better day than yesterday. And that's how you move forward in this industry. You can't hold on to too much because basically it's going to kill you. And mentally and physically, it's going to drain you.
100%.
So I was actually considering another idea. I was thinking about getting a company, like a company therapist.
Mm-hmm.
And, you know, obviously it's one of those things where it's like, if the guys or crew members, you know, need that extra talking to someone about whatever issues they're going on, because believe it or not, movers go through a lot. You know, they have so much stress beyond the things we know. And it's one of those things where it's like, yo, if we can get them that extra, you know, that person that's behind the scenes, you know, obviously we don't need to know what the hell's going on because it's obviously confidential.
Mm.
It may only elevate their level of performance for your company. It also may have employee retention, keep your employee retention really, really good because now they know that, hey, this is a company that cares about our well-being. And, you know, and then, you know, I don't know, like, obviously it could be expensive, but it's one of those things that I'm dabbling with because it's like one of those things where it's like, you know what? There's so many people that you see out here in this world, whether it's your employees or someone that you were once close to that commits suicide, and it sucks to bring that up, but it's one of those things where it's like, yo, what if they had the extra help?
Yeah.
What if they had a free hotline? And they do have free hotlines, don't get me wrong, but it's not, I feel like it's not advertised enough.
Mm-hmm.
And, you know, so as a company, you know, if we offered that to our employees and just said, hey, you know, on the bulletin, hey, don't forget, you have your once a month free consultation or however many consultations you have in that month. You know, reach out, you know, talk to this person or whatever the case is. It's completely confidential. It's between you and them, you know, and call them anytime. You want to call them between at 8 o'clock at night because maybe you guys worked a long day and you couldn't have your appointment at like 3 o'clock because you was in the field. Okay, 8 p.m. at night. Go to a separate room in your house, talk to the person online or over the phone, and get it all out, whatever.
Yeah.
And I think that's the direction, like I said, I want to incorporate. But you know, it's all stuff I need to look into. But that, however you grow your company, is however you grow your company. But I just feel like, you know, some things like that I'm passionate about.
No, I respect that. It's you know, the cool thing is when your people get better, it actually does make the community better too. You know, and one thing that I always focus on the best that I can is being prepared so I don't have to be prepared, if that makes sense.
Mm-hmm.
So get have them de-stress before they actually break and need to de-stress because that's the worst time to do it. Like that's the hardest time to do it. Now they're in a broken state. Have them be in that strong, healthy, empowered state, and in that state they actually empower others because like we were talking about, moving is stressful. It is for everybody,
Mm-hmm.
for the owner of the company, for the movers themselves, for the people who are moving, for the real estate agent. It's stressful. So if you can make it easier on everybody and let everyone know, like, not only knowing your why, but intentionally explaining what your why is, actually will get more support from your people. So if you say like, yeah, you know, our movers, they get therapeutic treatment because we know it makes it easier for them, and in return, it makes it easier for you. And now that's another marketing piece for people to say like, holy crap, Dwight really takes care of his people. Like this is what he does. This is how he takes care of them. Now that message is going to get out more and more, and people are going to want to support it.
Yeah. So yeah, like I said, guys. So on this show, hey, our goal is to be dropping gems, dropping ideas that you know you could probably consider in your business. You know, ultimately we are at our level that we are at in our level of business. And like Cliff mentioned, the 33, 33, 33. It's one of those things where, hey, I may be at a level higher than the person that may be listening to this right now. And you know, it's like, hey, I've been through it. I've been through the pitfalls. I'm still going through some pitfalls. And you know, at the end of the day, for me, I'm looking at either someone that's where I'm at or above where I'm at and where I want to go. And you know, same thing. Hey, you could be looking at where you're at and people that's above where you're at. And there's never someone that's at that top because this industry is so fragmented, so big, you know, that you're always growing to the point where it ain't going to never be perfect. You know, it just may just be to that point where you're comfortable and you're just like, you know what, I'm comfortable. I got 300 trucks. I got X amount of movers. I'm in so many markets. I'm doing so many services. I'm comfortable. I don't want anymore. I don't want to get to that next level. I want, you know, I'm here, you know, and that just basically goes with where your why is. What was your goal? Like, oh, did you want to get to that point of being that big and then just say, well, hey, you know what, I'm this big. At this point, I'm either going to sell the business and, you know, just reap the benefits for the rest of my life at this point because I'm at this age in my life now, or I'm going to pass it down and get royalties for all my hard work, whatever, you know, but it aligns with your why. So you don't have to keep, you know, get uncomfortable to get comfortable, but until you get to that why, you do.
Yep.
So all right. So it's 8:58. All right. So again, everybody remember 5 p.m. tonight. I don't know if you're gonna come, Cliff, but it's cool if you do. If you don't, I understand, you know.
If I can make it, I'm gonna make it. Yeah.
So 5 p.m. tonight. Again, you know, if you're interested in the coaching mastermind program, I've gotten amazing results from a lot of the clients that's been in the program so far, and they've been getting a lot of value. So definitely go to the website. We have some really great pricing right now for the coaching mastermind. Check it out. And, you know, hey, we look to see you on the other side. And then everybody else tonight, I'll see you at 5 p.m. And like I said, you can always go to my website. I have free training on my website, so I'm not always looking to sell you guys or ladies. I do offer free training on my website, but if you want that extra level of training or so like that, definitely, you know, it's within the programs itself. Check it out. All right, everyone. So I will see you later today and enjoy the rest of your week for those that do not show, and we'll see you next Thursday. All right, y'all.
All right. Have a great day, everyone. Take care. Have a good one, brother.
Yes, sir.